If you're a federal worker, you have a big decision to make by midnight. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, February 6th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Federal employees have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern to decide whether they will take a deferred resignation. That is the Trump administration's offer to quit now and maintain pay and benefits through the end of September. There are 2.3 million federal workers. The White House says that most of them are eligible for the buyout, and that layoffs would be likely if too few employees choose to quit. As of last night, a person familiar with the numbers said that 40,000 people had accepted the offer so far. But Democrats have called the offer a scam, and federal worker unions filed a lawsuit seeking to delay the deadline. There will be a hearing for that today. Meanwhile, the Post's personal finance columnist, Michelle Singletary, says workers should approach the deal with caution. She interviewed Nick Bednar, a professor at the University of Minnesota Law School. He said the offer probably isn't legal.
We don't know if this offer is valid. We don't know if a court's going to uphold it. We have at least one lawsuit seeking to strike down the entirety of the offer. And so anyone who signs takes a very significant risk that this offer won't ultimately be upheld. And that risk might be appropriate for some people, but for a lot of people, it's probably not going to be worth it.
If you are a federal worker or have questions about this story, you can ask Michelle and other Post experts in a live chat today at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can find that on our homepage. Number 2. President Donald Trump's proposal to take ownership of Gaza drew widespread criticism. On Tuesday, Trump suggested that the U.S. would take control of war-ravaged Gaza, removing more than 2 million Palestinians to redevelop the territory. U.S. foes and allies alike condemned the proposal. Yesterday, the White House tried to walk back his comments, saying Trump had not committed to sending troops to Gaza and that he will not spend U.S. funds rebuilding it. But today, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, said he had instructed the military to draft a plan to help carry it out, and far-right Israelis have celebrated the proposal. Experts say the plan would violate international law. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned against any form of ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
In the search for solutions, we must not make the problem worse. It is vital to stay true to the bedrock of international law. It is essential to avoid any form of ethnic cleansing.
In interviews with the Post, some Palestinians said they would rather leave Gaza for now given the inescapable devastation. But they said that the decision was theirs and not Trump's to make. Number 3.
With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over.
Trump signed an executive order targeting transgender athletes. His order threatens to deny federal funds for schools that allow trans athletes to compete on girls' and women's sports teams. It's not clear how schools will respond. Experts say a lot will depend on whether and how the Trump administration actually follows through on its threats. The president of the NCAA recently said that there are fewer than 10 transgender athletes out of 530,000 who participate in college athletics. But it's another example of how Trump's executive orders are already impacting policies and trans people's lives. His education department has announced an investigation into a Denver school district over its all-gender bathroom. And Trump signed another order penalizing teachers who help students socially transition. Number 4. A new form of bird flu was detected in dairy cows. This strain of the avian influenza virus was detected in a silo of raw milk last month. It's different from the strain that has been rampaging through herds since last year. But it's the same strain that was responsible for the first human death from bird flu last month. The discovery reveals that we still don't really know how this virus is spreading in cows, and it suggests cows may be more susceptible to bird flu than was previously thought. And that could increase the risk of severe disease among dairy farm workers and others who are in close contact with cattle. The tech giant Workday is laying off about 1,750 employees. That's our fifth story. Workday sells workforce management software. The Washington Post is one of its clients. Yesterday, the San Francisco Bay Area-based company said it would be cutting 8.5% of its workforce as it seeks to prioritize artificial intelligence. The cuts are the latest in a wave of layoffs sweeping the tech sector in recent years. The trend is sobering to an industry where workers once had their pick of plentiful jobs. And Workday's move echoes those of other corporations that have justified cutting employees to create more room for AI. Number 6. A lot more brick-and-mortar stores could close in 2025. A new industry report projects that 15,000 retail stores will shutter this year. That's about double last year's figure, which was the highest since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. The researchers say that bankruptcies, liquidations, and chains leaving unprofitable locations are responsible for most of these store closings. But also, some are still adjusting to the post-pandemic realities of online shopping, more cautious consumers, and high interest rates. And Trump's tariff plans could cause more headaches for retailers trying to absorb higher prices without alienating shoppers. And at number 7, authorities are scrambling to crack the case of an egg heist in Pennsylvania. Authorities said thieves stole about 100,000 eggs from a trailer on Saturday. Their haul is thought to be worth about $40,000. The case has drawn national attention, given the jump in retail egg prices. That's been driven by the outbreak of bird flu, which I mentioned earlier. And experts say that prices are unlikely to come down before May. But that doesn't mean you should steal 100,000 eggs. Police have asked for any leads in this daring egg heist. So if you see someone cooking a suspiciously large omelet, you should let them know. All right, you're all caught up. But before you go, a reminder that if you're a subscriber to The Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. Then stay tuned for more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're not a subscriber, this is a great time to start. You can sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.